Hi, I'm Jeff Dixon. Welcome once again to the Elvis Conspiracy, where we're looking at the life and the death and perhaps life of Elvis Aaron Presley, who disappeared way back in 1977. But maybe many people, there are a lot of thoughts out there where Elvis didn't leave the building. And so this series is looking into that multi-layered conspiracy that surrounds the life and death and maybe continuing life of Elvis Presley. This episode is called Mess of Elvis, or Mess of Elvis Presley, but it's only part one. Because what we're going to do in kind of a short, rapid-fire succession are share with you some reports of some Elvis sightings, if you will, that have blown up in the news in the years since his death. The first one has to do with the black helicopter. Some people who believe that Elvis faked his own death claim that a black helicopter holds the key to his disappearance. Multiple reports, including the Sun, points out that there were sightings on the day that he died at Graceland of a helicopter landing there behind the house at the Memphis mansion, hours before Elvis's body was discovered. Fans who have seen or say they saw this black helicopter believe that Elvis was picked up from his home and flown out of the country, where he went into a life of seclusion. The reasons? Well, we've talked about some of those in previous episodes. It could be a variety of things, but ultimately it was to escape that life of fame and life in the spotlight. So, answer to the question, were there black helicopters over Graceland the day that Elvis died? Some say yes, some say no. Sadly, it's in the days before people had cell phones that had cameras in them. And so there would not be any footage unless someone just happened to have cameras that day looking up in the sky and watching a helicopter land at Graceland. They would have had no idea why it was landing there, but maybe it's there. So here's the invitation. If you have a picture that was taken that day and you can prove it was taken that day, send it to us. And we would love to take a look at it. We'll show it, we'll talk about it, and we'll put this one back under the microscope. Until then, it's just a thought, part of the conspiracy. Elvis left the building in a black helicopter. The second mess of Elvis for this particular episode is the notorious Groundsman. Supposedly, according to those who track such things, after faking his death and disappearing, Elvis returned to live at Graceland incognito, disguised as a groundskeeper. The Daily Express notes that attention recently turned to a ponytail, gray-haired groundsman that worked at Graceland right up until recently. There are video clips. If you go online and you look on YouTube, you can actually type in the groundsman and the king, and you'll notice that there is a groundsman that has a resemblance to Elvis that's out there, and there are some video clips of him. There are some who argue that the groundskeeper's too short to be Elvis. I've seen the videos. I don't really buy into it, but it hasn't stopped the speculation. It is hard to believe, though, that Elvis would have moved out of the mansion when he moved back in to be a groundskeeper. But in the world of conspiracy theory, anything and everything can happen. The most intriguing one to me is that Elvis is now a pastor. That's right. Elvis is now a pastor. Thank you very much. Now, this was going around and has been going around now for a number of years and continues to take another spark and just kind of runs a little bit further. Theorists claim that Elvis is alive and well and preaching the good word as a singing pastor in Arkansas. The man's name? Bob Joyce. If you've never heard of Bob Joyce and you're an Elvis Presley fan, well, if you're an Elvis Presley fan, you've heard of Bob Joyce. Again, another YouTube sensation. There's a whole YouTube marketplace out there. But Bob Joyce bears a striking resemblance to the singer in both his looks and his singing voice. And when he preaches often, and it echoes the words that you would have heard the king himself say. He turns a phrase, kind of Elvis-ish, and he begins saying things, and all of a sudden you close your eyes and you start listening and you think, man, that sounds like Elvis. Bob Joyce is his name. Now, Bob Joyce has vehemently denied that he is not Elvis, just now significantly older, pastoring in Arkansas. The family has said that Bob Joyce is not Elvis. Yet, by the same token, it hasn't hurt the church from growing. It hasn't hurt his notoriety. His specials each week sound like an Elvis solo, and it has kind of taken on its own life of being speculated that this is Elvis. He's just now living out another life. Just about the time that the Bob Joyce stuff kind of slows down, I add this to the conspiracy level. Recently, Elvis's daughter, Lisa Marie Presley, passed away, at least recently, according to the time of this recording. And there was a public memorial in Memphis for Elvis. There also was a private family memorial that was for family members and very, very close friends only, a very small affair that took place at Graceland. Interestingly enough, the pastor who came in to lead Lisa Marie's funeral and sing at it, along with the star of the new Elvis film that was released as well. But the man who pastored and was the officiant of Lisa Marie's funeral was none other than Bob Joyce from Arkansas. And so the speculation, did Elvis do his own daughter's funeral? A little odd, sure. Give you the heebie-jeebies? I don't know. What are the heebie-jeebies? But those who believe that Elvis is living another life, for many, they think they have found their answer in Bob Joyce. Don't believe me? Just Google it. You'll find it. His name's everywhere. The comparisons are there. There's more videos than you could ever want to watch that are out there. But yet that is yet another in the Meso Elvis sightings. Now, this is just part one. There's been more sightings. We'll talk about those in our next episode. But if you're a conspiracy theorist, it does look like Elvis hasn't left the building. And so if you ever ask the question, where's Elvis? He might still be around. You never know. I look forward to joining you next time.